Well, here we are again.
Finally.
Another podcast. It's been a couple of weeks, hasn't it?
Yep, it has.
You tried to get away from us, but we caught up to you, man.
Yep, I've been running away. And so has Daniel's been hiding in his...
Not fast enough.
I've just been hiding away in my house.
Pretending he has COVID.
Before we started, I just wanted to quickly get into why we started this podcast. So essentially after a movie or hangout, we would meet in a car park and talk life and just stupid crap, right? But when the lockdowns rolled around and more restrictions were thrown our way, our talks became more and more politicised. So I came up with the idea of a podcast because I know us three aren't the only people struggling with COVID right now and the restrictions and whatnot. If we can just reach one more person and make them laugh, make them not feel alone, then we've done our duty. That's essentially why we've started this podcast. Now that we've got out of the way, we're the network now. After just one episode, we are in a network. We are in the Australian Liberty Network.
Pretty cool.
Pretty cool. I'd like to thank all the guys at the Australian Liberty Network for having us on there.
Thank you.
It's a great honour. Check them out on Twitter. That's Australian Liberty Network. Twitter, the internet. They've got a website, and they've got a YouTube and a Facebook. All right, let's get into it.
Just check us out on the internet.
Check us out on the internet, on the Facebook. Do you have the Google?
How old I am. That explains how old I am.
So, Dan, my man, you've had COVID.
Yes, I have.
So what was it like having COVID since both of us have never had COVID?
Well, at the start, it was probably just a day of the most severe symptoms, like the fever, headache, just feeling nauseous and whatnot. But after a day, it just settled down to just a regular flu. I had a pretty nasty cough. That was probably severe symptom that lasted the longest. I was positive for about 8 days, and after the 10th day, I could finally go out and to public again. I still have a little bit of a cough left over, but the whole experience was it was fine. It was just a flu for me.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you? So you've been vaccinated. You've had AstraZeneca. Do you think that has anything to do with how well you handled it at all?
I wouldn't know.
We wouldn't know, would we? All right, it's time for us to get COVID. It's time for us to get COVID.
I'm technically at risk group because of some medical conditions, but it has nothing to do with my respiratory system. So I really don't know. So
Omicron's it's an escape variant, isn't it? It can actually get people who are vaccinated.
Yeah, but it's not as severe as
No.
Although there have been plenty of cases of people even getting some of the other variants who had been vaccinated.
Just pass me the water, mate. Yeah. The thirsty little boy.
Okay. Make sure you actually take the lid off, unlike me. That will actually make a big difference.
Yeah, you have to take the lid off before you drink things.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I learned the hard way. Yeah. I learned in grade 6. Before then, people had to poke holes in bottles for me.
I learned in grade 12.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I went to, the podcast on me, just in general, on Twitter and going to protests. I've been up to a lot of things while we haven't been doing any podcasts. I went to a protest in Brisbane. It was interesting. There were a lot of anti-5G people there and a lot of QAnon people, a lot.
Oh.
It's a whole lot of people who like freedom, but you kind of want to be seen with certain individuals. You know what I mean? I would say I'm a moderate libertarian of sorts.
Yeah.
And when I see there's some crazy QAnon conspirator, I'm like, oh well, shit. That means I'm going to be labelled as a crazy QAnon conspirator. But there was a lot of people there. It was a big protest. It went through. Where'd it go through? It was going through the Brisbane CBD and everything. There was at least over 5,000 people there.
Damn.
Yeah, there was a lot. It was a big show up. I'm probably never going to do it again because the parking in Brisbane is just atrocious. It's just disgusting.
I think it's bad in Brisbane. Try Sydney.
Yeah. Where do you reckon's worse, Sydney or Melbourne?
You mean in terms of traffic or in terms of just in general?
Well, just in traffic. Yeah, we'll just talk about traffic. Have you been to Melbourne?
No. But Sydney, I'm pretty sure, is the worst in Australia by far. Their traffic is atrocious.
Yeah, you take the bus there.
I'd never drive around.
You can't
Sydney.
really do that in Brisbane. It doesn't work as well.
Yeah.
Their systems are a little bit shit compared to everyone else's.
But at least you can actually drive around in Brisbane. I think Brisbane's a nice city.
You can drive around.
Yeah.
You can't park. You can drive around, but you can't bloody park.
Yeah. If I was going to drive around the city, I'd prefer to have a smaller car.
What?
Rather than my giant fucking thing.
Your thing? What is your car called?
I don't know if I want to tell people what my car is because I don't want them to spot me. It's just large. That's all you need to know.
It's a Volkswagen. It's a little... Is it Beetle? No. No, it's a different car company.
No, it's a Nissan Micra.
It's a Nissan Micra.
I'm joking.
No, it is. It's a little yellow car, and the boot is barely hanging on. You might see him on the road sometime.
It's actually a toy car.
Yeah,
it's a remote control car.
He's got to wind it up at the back and then get back in.
Yeah. And I've just got like a driver's license, and I just wrote on like a bit of paper. I made it out of a piece of paper.
Nice. We've had all sorts of people listen to our podcast from around the world.
Yep.
We've had people from Japan, Belgium, Dubai, Canada, United States.
Oh.
It's crazy. United
Pretty
Kingdom.
cool.
Yeah.
England.
England.
That's crazy. I don't know how we even reached someone in the United Arab Emirates. That's a bit weird.
Have the majority of people been in this country, though, in Australia,
What do you mean?
who've viewed it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Overwhelming. I think there's, I want to say at least 80% are Australian. The rest are just people from, all around the world.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
But someone in Dubai was just really bored and was just like, oh, what the hell's this? Okay, I'll just watch it. Great. That was a waste of my time. Okay. This happened to me. I'm going to ask you guys something. Dan, what do you think civil discourse means?
Oh God.
I can
Put me
explain
on the
it.
spot.
Yeah.
That's why I'm asking him first.
To humiliate him a little bit. What does civil discourse mean to you, Daniel?
Well, I mean, could be when you're debating and then it goes wrong.
It goes wrong.
Like it goes like, I don't know.
No, Daniel, civil discourse is when it goes right. It means discussing topics in a civil manner.
I thought it was when discussions break down because there's like discourse, right?
Yeah.
I didn't know about that, right? And I tweeted, Trump would create more civil discourse if he gets elected. And I thought that meant that he'll create more turmoil and trouble, right? And so I just get all these people from the left attacking me on Twitter.
And you know what? They were
What do you
actually
mean?
right.
I'm like, what do you mean? Trump's going to make everything better. Then I look it up. I'm like, oh, God, that's not what civil discourse means. Oh, God. I fucking died.
When was this?
This was a couple of weeks back. I want to say 2 weeks ago. Yeah.
Trump will create more civil discourse.
And another thing, I got our Outback Liberty account on Twitter added to an Antifa watch list.
Yes!
Woo! Yeah, baby! That's what I wait for.
We need a little plaque. Just says
added to an
Antifa watch list.
I have to get that made. Well, we have to make it expensive. Go all out, balls deep on this plaque.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think I posted something about. I posted a lot of things. Something about anti-vax. I don't like something about disagreeing with the mandates.
Yeah.
And then I just get this notification. You've been added to this group or something.
Yeah.
And it says like Antifa fascists, yada yada. So what they do is this Antifa group just adds people who they think are fascists into this big group so they can look at them later.
Okay, so you got added to a watch list for fascists because you disagree with the government forcing people. That makes sense.
The irony in that.
The irony in that.
They support vaccine mandates. They're crazy.
That's weird, don't you think?
That's crazy.
No, think about this, right? Especially with the Canadian convoys, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people from the left are getting angry at these truckers, right?
Yeah.
What happened to the workers uniting? The workers are uniting. They're doing it in trucks, and they're going through Canada and now Australia and the US.
Yeah.
Why is it tribalism? Why are they not agreeing with it?
Because it only matters when the workers unite under their cause. That's why.
Exactly. Yeah. I think that's exactly the reason.
And bloody Justin's hiding away in his little bunker.
What was his
somewhere.
excuse? He had COVID.
Yeah.
He's a
He got
sweet boy.
COVID.
He's a coward.
I don't like him.
He's a coward.
Have you heard the theory that he's the son of Fidel Castro?
I have.
That's crazy.
Well, have you looked it up?
Oh,
Look it up. Look it up in your spare time. It's his mum visited in this what time was it? The 60s or 70s? And then came back and then got pregnant. But I think it was a couple years after. So some people are saying that she may have visited him secretly, Fidel Castro, and they had sex and then had the baby. I don't agree with this theory. I think it's just hilarious as hell that Justin
You
Trudeau
see all
is the son
the
of Fidel
bloody
Castro.
memes everywhere. It's like they're comparing the faces
Yeah,
of like
yeah.
Fidel and
Yeah.
Justin. It's like,
It's hilarious. Well, if he grew a beard and then like put on a cap, I'd be like, oh, you got Fidel Castro. He's already doing very communist things.
yeah.
Just go all the way. You know, start
so
speaking
maybe
Spanish.
they are related.
Except
Maybe they are related.
the difference though is that Fidel Castro, although he's a psycho. Well, he's dead now, but
He's a dead psycho.
yeah, he probably at least had more balls than Justin Trudeau. I think Justin Trudeau is a pussy.
So you're saying Fidel Castro is better? You're saying Justin Trudeau should go all the way and just kill people?
No, I'm not saying that.
Start with the convoy truckers. Boom.
Okay, yeah.
So you've heard Australia's having a supply demand. We're having an issue with supply, right?
Yep.
Shit in Australia. And we've all heard Scott Morrison's way of solving it, and that's
Child labour.
That's basically it.
That's putting kids on forklifts. Yeah. What do you think about kids on forklifts?
Little 8-year-old Jimmy.
Little Jimmy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Jimmy, he collided with Billy.
And Billy's just like impaled on
Yeah.
the
like this. Mommy, this isn't like Fortnite.
He's not respawning.
He's not responding. Oh, it's kids on forklifts, then, you know, kids in cranes and stuff, and kids flying planes.
Kids in fighter jets
Yeah.
and tanks.
Oh.
That might help because isn't the military freaking struggling at the moment too?
It is struggling. I think everyone's militaries are really struggling right now.
Yeah, I know the US is.
They're having trouble finding people, and they reckon it's because our generation is a bit, you know, fucky wucky.
Not very patriotic. You
Not
know what
very
country isn't struggling though?
Russia and China, the ones that are going to dominate us. Yes. Well, I think it's partly because of people think it's Chinese and Russia propaganda.
Yeah.
Making, so that they'll spread like left-wing ideologies in America to make people not want to go to war.
Yeah.
And, you know, support all this yada yada. People think that's what's happening, and it's the best weapon. You know, if they went to war with America, just even 10 years ago, there would have been way more patriotic people, way more people wanting to do it.
Yeah.
Now it's fairly more divided. You know, what will happen now?
Yeah,
I think they've got the element then. If they go to war, there'll be half people going, no, don't do it, and then people going, yes, do it.
Yeah.
War sucks, but sometimes you have to fight a war to help yourself.
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying you just attack someone for oil, but, you know, if you're getting invaded or close allies are getting invaded, you know, you've got to think, what can you do before it comes to you?
Yep.
So I think the main argument, like, for example, the whole Ukraine-Russia tension thing going on right now, is that, like, why should we send, like, our countrymen to die on, like, a foreign soil?
Yeah.
But, like, of course I don't want, like, us Aussies to, like, servicemen to go die, but, I mean,
I know what you mean.
It's
a tough situation. Like, this is what happened with World War II. You know, Italy and Japan were pushing into countries and no one was doing anything.
Yeah.
And then eventually they had to do something because they took a lot of land.
Yeah.
And they could keep going. So where exactly do you draw the line?
Yeah, it is a hard thing to say. I don't have a problem with us helping out other countries, but I think we got to really pick and choose. You can't go to war just to go to for the sake of going to war.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
I think they probably should have thought about that a little bit more, like in Vietnam, because that was just a waste of time. I agree with the goal of it, which was to contain communism, but didn't really do much.
No, didn't.
Although maybe the Korean War, they did save half of the country.
Yeah, you can see a satellite image of the Korean peninsula at night, and you just see South Korea just filled with lights, and it's all beautiful and spectacular. Yeah. Then you look at North Korea, and there's like two lights.
Only the capital city is
it's Pyongyang.
Pyongyang.
I got that right in the first try. Pyongyang. Woo.
And that's the city that all the rich elites are at. So you want to, you wonder what the rest of the country's like. No one knows, and you don't really want to know.
See that recent bloody propaganda piece that Kim Jong-un put out?
No.
Is this the military?
It's of him showing off how he's lost all that weight, and he's riding on a white horse with his generals, and it's
what?
What? Yeah,
it's an actual thing.
Yeah,
and
I saw it on the news in the morning, them reporting on this new video that came out, and it's him and a bunch of other people riding on these white horses, and him staring off into the sunset. I'm what the fuck is
Do they fly
this?
up into the sunset and just you see Gandalf in the background cheering him on?
And if he tried it a year ago, the horse's legs would have broken. It would have just been crushed.
Wait, is he not wearing a shirt?
No, he's
Thank God.
He's wearing a white shirt.
Oh.
Thank God he at least has a fucking shirt on.
I kind of like it if he didn't wear a shirt. Maybe.
Oh my God.
Of course not.
I'm horrified.
You horrified?
Yep.
Cool.
Get off your phone, Daniel.
Get off your phone, mate.
Just looking at.
I'm gonna
Get off your phone.
I'm gonna confiscate it.
Do it. Throw a bitch. No. So what do you think about? So we're two countries right now. We got Australia, and we got Western Australia.
We got Australia and the People's Republic of Australia.
Yeah, the People's Republic of Western Australia. Yeah. What do you think about Mark McGowan?
I don't like him.
Yeah. Maybe they should just split off into another country if they don't want to be part of us.
Oh, it would cause a chain reaction, man. I don't know. They've tried to do that before.
Yeah.
I mean, back when we first became one country, they went off to London and said, no, we don't want to become part of the Federation, and tried very hard to be their own seperate country.
I think they even got the majority. They even got the majority population to agree to independence, but our government was like, yeah, no.
I think there was a recent plebiscite.
Big word.
I don't know. Big words.
You would say poll. You went out with plebiscite. I like that.
I can't remember what year it was, but 2013 maybe. And it was a whole should Western Australia be independent? And I think about 48% voted yes.
Interesting.
So it might be more now after a couple years, maybe. But
what are you doing?
Interesting.
I'm playing with a clip.
Good job. Good job, mate.
So yeah, Mark McGowan, the Western Australian Premier, is extending the state opening, and he keeps doing it. And our Prime Minister was like, "Yeah, good job. He's supporting it."
He's a pussy.
He's on the fence, but he's on a barbed wire fence. The prick.
Yeah.
I can't stand him.
He'd rather sit on a barbed wire fence than say something.
I know.
Ugh.
He's on a barbed wire fence because being on the fence, this one hurts him by just going, yeah, okay. It makes him look weak.
Yep.
You know? Did you see that meme? I don't know if you've seen it. Oh, you've seen it on Twitter. But it's Mark McGowan. Did I get it right?
Yep.
I forgot his name.
Mark McGowan, I don't know.
Mark McGollum. There's a meme on Twitter, and it's him as an old guy. And it's I'm sorry to say, but we're going to delay the opening of the border again. It's 80 years old, and it's 2080 or something.
Yeah.
Oh God.
That's funny.
And he has like one of those communist military hats on, like the Soviet ones. That would go well.
Where's Peng Shui, guys? Where do you think Peng Shui is? Do you know who Peng Shui
Dead.
is? Dead? You reckon she's dead?
I don't know.
I think she's alive, but
Being tortured
being-
until she...
maybe not even, maybe being watched extensively.
Yeah. And being forced to worship freaking the Communist Party, probably.
Well, what she did was, I believe she came out about being sexually assaulted by someone high up in the CCP. So once she did that, she went missing for a bit, and then there was a video released, apparently from her, talking about everything, and it seemed very staged.
Yeah.
People were saying she got a gun to her head, and I agree. I've seen the video.
I
It's
think
very-
that's with like most like of the videos that come out of that country, like of them saying everything's fine. Mm-hmm.
What was that Chinese billionaire who came out and talked crap about the government? He's a bit of an idiot.
It's not Jack Ma, is it? Not him.
He's got a small face.
It might be him. I know, but I thought he liked the Communist Party.
Jack Ma.
Yeah. I know he's a Chinese billionaire.
He's
That's all I know.
Chinese.
Yes,
Doesn't sound very.
he is Chinese.
He's a Ma.
M.A. M.A., yeah.
It is Jack Ma. Oh my god! Look at his face, guys. Look at that.
It's all right. We're not making fun of him because he's Chinese.
No, it's just
because he has a small face.
He's got a very small face.
Yep. Just so you know,
You
we're
could-
not being
you could-
racist.
You could cup it with one hand.
Yeah.
You could be talking to him, just go. He said something about, I think the Chinese government, and then, boom, he disappeared a couple months, and then apparently
Yep.
people saw him on a video call, and I don't know if we've heard from him since. I haven't looked up the news, but that was pretty scary. If you just, he's a big guy, and he says one thing, and he's
Gone.
disappeared, or he's apparently still alive.
Well, that's the norm in that country. They all know if you say something that we don't like, you'll disappear.
Yeah, it's
I wonder how hard.
And
it
then
is
that's
to
all the
actually
same
move
with
out.
bloody the West actors. If they say something that hurts bloody, the bottom dollar, because China's a big market for all the movies and TV series.
the whole John Cena situation.
Calling Taiwan a country.
Yeah, and then he apologized in Chinese.
Bing chilling.
Bing chilling. He actually lived in China for I think a couple years. How weird would that be? He lived in it was a big province, but it wasn't a big province for China. So China's like, yeah, here you can just live here. That'd be weird. Just a white dude in this random Chinese province for a couple years.
Yeah.
It'd feel like you're on an alternative universe.
Yeah, but then they probably would feel the same way if they came here.
Yeah, no, you're right, yeah.
Yeah.
But, in this one, you can at least somewhat say what you want to say.
Yeah.
You can't just go around the streets and yelling in China that the CCP sucks.
Yeah, because
You could do that here. And
You can yell ScoMo sucks in the streets and at least you
Yeah.
won't get killed.
Exactly.
Although we do have a lot of problems, at least we can still do that. Although how much longer, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I think it's Western Australia, but recently, you can't be an unvaccinated lawyer in a courtroom. That is insane, right? You could be the best lawyer, right?
Yep.
I don't know if this is true. I'm still going to say it anyway. I can look this up and I guess I'll fact check it later. But just, you could be really good in your field and you just happen to be unvaccinated and you're willing to help this client. Oh, well, guess what? You're not allowed to. You can't enter the courtroom. You're unvaccinated. That's just shit. That is just draconian.
I'm pretty sure quite recently in Austria, they had a court case against the compulsory vaccination.
Yep.
And I'm 99% sure that they voted overwhelmingly against it, thankfully.
Really?
I'm pretty sure.
Looks like if they don't want to get back to their roots after all.
It's all right. It's all right, guys. Austria has never been authoritarian at any point in any history. It's okay. We shouldn't watch them carefully because nothing bad's going to happen over there.
You know, it does surprise me. It's actually really, really easy to buy guns there.
It is.
Yeah, like it's similar to the United States.
Similar?
Yeah.
Wow.
You don't need a. Oh, you can. You don't. I don't. You might need a permit to carry, but you can carry open or concealed.
I'm pretty sure that's also the same with Czech Republic.
Yeah. Oh,
They've
Czech Republic, you can't open carry though. You can conceal.
But they've also written in their constitution.
Is it actually open carry in Austria?
Open or concealed. Yes.
Isn't that the same in Switzerland?
Switzerland, if you can carry, but you actually need proof that there is someone coming after you, and it's like there's a threat to your life.
Is the government a liable excuse?
I hope so.
The government's after me. Can I have a gun, please?
No, Switzerland and Austria, you don't need a license to purchase some guns.
Wow.
Yeah.
And over here, you need a license to buy a bulletproof vest. Isn't that funny?
They're a prohibited weapon.
It's considered a weapon, something to defend yourself from a gun. It's considered a weapon.
Whack a person.
Whack a person with a bulletproof vest.
Yeah. No, I think the gun laws are absurd. I think Howard made a big mistake.
John Howard, the coward.
Yeah, I think the 96 gun laws are garbage. Never said that before, I don't think, on the podcast, but now that I have an opportunity, I will say so.
There you go.
Yeah. I think we should have access to semi-autos.
I agree.
Yep.
I think we should have recreational nukes.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I reckon
isn't
if
it?
we get bored, we can just buy nukes. You know, just have little areas, right? We can just go... Pew, pew,
And just blow up China.
Yeah.
Better not say that. We've got to be careful.
God.
Yeah. Actually, that might have been a mistake.
No, we love you, China. We love you, China. Love you, love you, love you. Bing chilling.
Don't actually, but we might want to snip that bit out. Do you reckon?
Why?
Saying blow up China.
No.
We're leaving it in.
We're leaving it in.
Okay.
Why? Sorry, China. We love you.
Yeah. We don't actually love you, but we're also not going to blow you up.
Yeah. No, we love you.
Like, you'll probably blow me up for saying that.
We love the people. We don't like the
Winnie the Pooh.
We don't like Winnie the Pooh. We do not like Winnie the Pooh. So a couple weeks back, I said I was going to bring a surprise on the podcast.
Yeah.
I forgot.
Good job.
Thank you. I had these things. I'm going to bring on the next podcast. Maybe it's going to give them to you, but I've forgotten. I'm very sorry. So expect them next podcast. I'm not going to tell you what it is. It's nothing major. It's just a little treat for you guys.
Next podcast, we will still be in the same location, but Alex is going to be missing. It's just going to be me.
Is that because I talked crap about China?
No.
Oh.
It's going to be because you forgot.
Because I forgot to come on the podcast.
No.
No, because you forgot our stuff.
So because I forgot your stuff,
Yes.
I'm not going to... Okay.
You're going to go missing forever.
That's... Because I forgot to give you a gift, I'm going to disappear.
Yes.
Great. Just great. Oh my God.
Oh. How long have we been going for?
We've been going for 30 minutes.
Oh, good. Good. The time goes pretty fast, doesn't it?
It does.
Once we get into it.
Time goes fast when time passes.
All right.
That's
Good observation.
a great observation from me.
All right.
So, what do you think about... what do you think about having it's gone on in New Zealand? Situation over there. What's her name? Jacinda Ardern?
Oh, the
Yeah.
psychopath.
She was going to have a
yeah.
wedding. The psychopath. Yeah. She's going to have her wedding, but cancelled it because of the surge of Omicron in New Zealand. Apparently, there's a surge. There
Yeah.
might be 2 cases. I don't know.
A surge for them is like half a case.
Half a case. Is it someone in a wheelchair with the COVID?
And I'm pretty sure they're also increasing how long you have to isolate for.
Really?
Yeah.
So
24 days.
So while we cut it, they
24 days.
I'm pretty sure I saw someone was like 24 days.
I have
And, like-
to fact check you.
And then the close contacts. So like with your close contacts, like with me, my parents had to isolate for 7 days, and then they could just leave.
Yep.
But I had to keep isolating until I was, unsymptomatic.
Yep.
And I'm pretty sure in New Zealand, the close contacts have to isolate for 10 days.
Don't mind me. I'm just looking up.
So there's also a
Fact-checking
lawsuit.
me.
There's
I'm fact checking you, bro.
There's people who are suing
I probably
her
have to
now.
be fact checked like
What, the
24/7.
New Zealand government?
Yeah, suing the New Zealand government because they can't get back home.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because they're stuck. They haven't been able to go get into the country for like 2 years.
Isn't that happening with WA? 2 years.
Something like that, yeah. they're still not letting them back.
Oh, you know the New Zealand's only had 53 deaths all up.
Yeah, they're showing us up for bloody authoritarianism, aren't they?
They've got confirmed 17,000 cases. I don't know if that's just in general. Apparently 0 people have recovered from cases in New Zealand. They need to update that. 0 recovered.
Yeah,
53 deaths, but there's 17,000 cases confirmed.
If you've had it, they'll probably
Someone's
treat you
not doing
you've
their
had
math
the plague,
correct.
So.
Oh, who's that from? Oh, it's from the CDC. Oh, that's great. Oh, and the WHO.
Ah, yes.
They're really rival.
Yeah, with their communist leader. Yeah.
Wow. Oh, my God. I'm worried. I'm a little worried, guys, where we're going.
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to have a major lockdown again in Australia.
Yeah.
Unless we get this new variant that actually does properly kill people. But right now, we're getting like, what was it? There's a new Omicron, isn't it?
Oh, there's a new Omicron variant. And it's like called like stealth Omicron.
Stealth Omicron.
They just tried to make
Even
it sound
more
scary.
stealthier.
They just tried to make it sound
There's
scary.
all-
Oh, no, you have to stay inside because of
There's
stealth
always a new
Omicron.
variant. Things start settling down, new variant, then things start settling down again, and there'll be another new variant. It's just a fucking cycle.
Yeah.
Stealth Omicron.
And then you have to get like premium streaming service to get the new variants. Upgrade to Government Plus to get the new
Whatever their new vaccine is.
the Mark McGowan go get him variant. I don't know. Well, I think we're on the verge of having to get a booster shot to be fully vaccinated. Right now, we're all vaccinated here, aren't we?
Yep.
Yeah.
So we're all vaccinated, and we're talking about being against vaccine mandates. We can do that. People need to realise that. It's not just people who aren't vaccinated who are protesting this. There's people who are vaccinated who are protesting this.
I said that to someone, and they said, "What's the difference?"
You can't reason with certain people, mate. You just can't.
So they said, what's the difference between...
So I'm like, when the booster is available, I'm not going to get the booster because I'm sick of
Bullshit.
all the mandates. But if people want to get it, they should be able to get it. But I'm against the mandates, and they just said, "Oh, what's the difference?"
What's the difference?
That doesn't really make sense.
It doesn't.
It's a weird
No.
thing to ask. It's like...
Imagine they go to an ice cream shop, right? And they're like, "Oh, what flavors have you got?" And like, "Oh, I've got with this and this." And like, "What's the difference? What's the difference?" And they just leave.
What's the difference? That's where you go out and you go...
Aren't they all the same? What's the difference?
That's a joke. Don't punch anyone in ice cream shops.
Don't specifically ice cream shops. Anywhere else?
Yeah, anywhere
Go
else
ahead.
is okay.
Go ahead. Domestics, punch a kid, don't care.
Oh.
And I'm not cutting that. Oh my God. Wow. But these are certainly interesting times.
Oh, yeah, they are.
I'm kind of excited. I want to see where we're going. I think more and more people are going, nah, this is bullcrap.
Yeah.
But
But there are a lot of people that are hardcore, just, wear a mask forever, get vaccinated, and if you're not vaccinated... Then,
Get your 21 booster shots.
yeah.
well, you could tell who supported the masks and the vaccines and whatever. Because remember initially when it was like a month or so here in New South Wales where we didn't have to wear a mask or sign in.
Yep.
It was a couple of weeks or so, maybe a month. But there were still people who wore masks.
It was like 2 weeks,
Yeah, it was like 2 weeks, wasn't it? It sucked.
if that.
Yeah. And what's his... Dom the flip-flop.
Yeah.
He said he wasn't going to do it again. And then he goes, boop, do it again. He even extended the restrictions for nightclubbing and dancing in masks till February the 28th, I believe.
And now we have to still wear face diapers.
Face diapers.
That's what it is. It's a face diaper.
I'm actually sick of wearing them.
A Marxist face diaper.
The Marxist face diaper.
I'm so sick of wearing because where I work, it's fucking.
You have to wear your face mask while working now.
I have to wear my face mask while working,
I don't. I think
and I'm
supposed
in
to.
a bloody giant shed.
You're in a giant shed, and it's hot, and you're wearing face masks.
Yes.
Like people say you can breathe through face masks. Yeah, you can. It's just annoying. You got your hot breath just coming back right at you.
Yeah.
Like when I'm shopping at a grocery market, I'm like holding the trolley, like, oh, I'm sick of this.
Yeah.
I'm just shaking it, because I'm sick of it.
If you're working out though or doing like some intense exercise and you're wearing a mask, then that's a good way to put yourself to sleep.
I don't think you have to. Like, I know the gym I go to, you don't have to wear a mask.
Yeah, when you're working out, let you take it
walking
off.
to and from, you're supposed to put on a mask.
Yeah.
It could be 2 seconds away from you,
Yeah.
and you got to wear a mask. And just quickly put it on because you're not getting COVID.
Yeah.
It'll stop you. But the moment you sit down and exercise, you can't get COVID.
Well, I freaking don't wear one when I'm working out.
Well, neither.
Wonder if I'll get arrested for that. We'll find out pretty soon.
We'll find out pretty soon. Do you wear your mask when drinking water?
Yeah, I just pour it through the mask, and if there's any COVID in it, I'll be getting the COVID
Look,
straight through.
People
then.
you see swimming with face masks, these people can vote. Just remember that.
These people can are allowed to make just everyday decisions like drive or go to the shops or
The people who
decide what they're going to eat for dinner.
Yeah, the people who wear like 6 face masks, a face shield, have a little stun baton, they get to vote.
Yeah. And
These crazy people.
Yeah, it's a shame, isn't it?
It's a bit of a shame, yeah.
I was going to say something.
We all love voting. We all love our democracies, but it's like,
Yeah.
God.
But that when they choose their dinner, it'll just probably be shit out of the garbage. That's how retarded they are.
Yeah,
What am I having for dinner tonight? Go into the compost.
the compost. It's just crackhead Carrie, and she's just going through the bin.
Don't want to get any COVID. Better eat some worms instead of going. I don't know.
Eat worms out of the garden. They don't have COVID.
Yeah, they probably carry shit way worse than COVID.
What do you think about? This would annoy me. There was a post by Unilad. This would have been last year, right? This was a while ago.
Yeah.
And it said, woman takes down neighbour's racist sign.
Yeah.
And it wasn't racist. What it said was, the Chinese government spread the virus. Is that racist?
That's not racist.
That's not racist because I don't know. I believe in the Wuhan lab leak theory. I think it did come from a lab in China. I don't know if it was intentionally made or accidentally spread.
Someone was caught giving them money. Do you know who it was?
Fauci.
Yes.
I love Fauci.
Oh, he's an asshole.
You can buy it. Oh, you know what I'm going to get you? I'm going to get you a little figurine of Dr. Fauci. I'm going to glue it to your, what do you call it?
If you give me a Dr. Fauci figurine, I will take it, throw it into the air, and just
catch it like a child.
No, and shoot it with a 12 gauge.
You don't even have a 12 gauge.
I don't. You're
Super
right.
glue it to your dash.
Try and get a 12 gauge here in Australia. We'll get back to you in a year.
Oh, you can do it. If you try to get a semi-auto one, that'll be harder though. Get it like a double barrel one.
Yeah, I think
shoot clays or something.
Yeah. I think in South Australia, certain Nerf guns you have to get
Registered
a firearm license for because they can be converted into gel blasters. Because gel blasters are considered a weapon here in Australia. I don't know if it's in every state, but it's just
So far, it's just South Australia where you have to register some Nerf guns.
That's a pain in the ass. It's just retarded.
Well, the gel blaster could kill a kid. Yeah. We've got to have. Do you have your fork? Do you have your fork and knife license, Daniel?
Oh, do you know?
What about you, Dan? You got your fork and knife license?
Of course.
This is funny. You know, in the UK, they had bins. They were doing a thing a while ago where they had bins around, and you could surrender knives. And guess what happened? But yeah, and so people would it's almost like a hand in your gun program. It was like a hand in your knife program. And guess what? Criminals went and broke into them and stole the knife.
Oh, yeah. That's a step. What if I just threw in all my old rusty butter knives?
Oh,
I've had dreams where we're not allowed to use forks and knives, right? So it's a robot that from the government that has to do it for us. Just cut our carrots and butter our bread because we might stab someone with a butter knife.
Now we're gonna have a robot that wipes their ass as well when we.
I can't wait for that. I'm sure all the top elite, the 1% of the world, have robots that wipe their asses.
Yeah, David Rockefeller. Didn't he have like 6 heart transplants or something?
Yeah, he had too many.
Yeah, it's like
he died many years before, but he just kept alive. Just to come on, you still got our money. Come on, keep going.
There's little kids that'll struggle to get a freaking kidney transplant or something.
I think that Rockefeller also said that there needs to be a decrease in the population. Something like that.
Yeah.
The Rockefellers are a mess family.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Oh, we're going to get targeted by the Rockefellers now.
Yeah. They'll just take us down. We'll disappear.
Disappear like Peng Shui.
We'll do a Jeffrey Epstein.
Doing Jeffrey Epstein. We're going to hang ourselves.
Yep.
So tragically this morning, all the members of the Outback Liberty podcast hung themselves at the exact same time.
We committed suicide by shooting ourselves in the head 5 times with a pump action shotgun, and reloading it and doing it another 5 times.
Did you? I think the report for Jeffrey Epstein that he hung himself with toilet paper from his bed. Wasn't that it?
Toilet paper.
I thought it was like bed sheets.
Oh, was it bed sheets? Was it?
I
They
thought-
said he jumped from it was like a small double bunk bed, right?
Yeah.
He jumped from it with his neck, and he was just like in a little cradle position, jumped out, and that's how he broke his neck.
And somehow ended up with fingerprints on his neck as well.
Yeah, that's. I think someone looked at it and was like, "Yeah, this is clear signs of strangulation."
Yeah.
But no worries, no one talks about Jeffrey Epstein anymore, do they?
Yeah. His silly girlfriend just got fucking...
What's her name? Ghislaine?
Ghislaine something. I don't know.
Ghislaine
Maxwell.
Maxwell.
Yeah.
Got 80,
She was
80
worse
years.
than him.
80 years?
I think 80 years.
But no one really... We didn't get anything out of it. She
was
knows
like-
people.
Her lawyers are trying to get a mistrial. You know what that'll mean?
What?
She'll go free. Because one of the jurors, I think, talked about being sexually abused when he or she was younger.
Oh,
Yeah.
you can't have conflicting...
No, it's because it could have potentially influenced the decision.
yeah, you can't have... for example, they...
Yeah. Or maybe they could do another trial, I think.
What I think it's here in Australia. The defendant can pick people out of the jury they don't want there, right?
Yep.
And if it's a paedophile, what they typically do is they go for middle-aged women.
Yeah.
Because if they're mums, they're gonna,
Yep.
obviously have an opinion about their children, because these guys rape children.
Yeah.
My mum actually had that experience.
Yeah.
She was a teacher. She's a teacher.
Yep.
And she was in the jury stand, and the defendant who I think he raped a kid or something, and she just chose her randomly, probably because she looked like, they didn't know she was a teacher, obviously.
Yeah.
Or probably because she was a middle-aged woman. They're like,
Yeah.
yeah, we'll kick her out. She probably has kids.
Yeah.
I don't know how many they can kick out. I think it's like 1 or 2. Just someone that they think can sway the court case. It's weird, but I don't know.
Yeah. I reckon a good idea would be bring in castration.
Castration.
Or the death penalty.
What's castration? Is that where they
Cut their...
Is that where they cut the brakes to your car?
Shut up. It's where they cut everything out so their thing doesn't work anymore.
Yeah.
That would be a good idea.
A lot
I
of places have chemical castration.
I think physical castration.
Yeah. Well, chemical castration, I think you have to keep getting pills for it,
Yeah.
and it relies on them taking the pills.
Which is...
I think.
Yeah.
I think I'm right about that one.
Yeah.
But physical, they just cut. They obviously just cut it off.
Yeah, cut everything out so it doesn't work.
What about this? What about chemical castration? They do it again. Physical. Shink.
Yep.
Or do you want just shink from the get go?
Just from the get-go.
Yeah.
Get go.
I think, that might be appropriate.
Yeah. Might be appropriate. Anyway, it's been 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did really good.
Yep.
I think we did pretty well.
All right.
All right. I think that will do us today. Be sure to follow us on Twitter. That's Outback Liberty. We're also on YouTube. That's also Outback Liberty.
Yeah.
That's really it. We've got a Parler account, but who gives a shit? And no, sorry, not Parler. Ghetto. Yeah, Ghetto. I don't think we'll ever use the Ghetto account, but oh well. We'll just see where we go.
Yep.
All right. Thanks, guys, for listening.
Thank you.
Bye. Oh shit! You dropped the mic, mate.